All right. And there we go. Hi. Okay, so I hope everybody had a good weekend. Today, on today's show, Chris learns to talk about letters and numbers. Yeah. Okay, so hi. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a very busy one. I played some hockey. Woo, woo, woo. Floor hockey. Yeah. Okay. Well, so this weekend I got a lot done. Now, I queued some stuff up. Oh, today's soundtrack is The Hives, your new favorite band. Okay. Just very loud. That's not it. Okay, this is our header for. Here we go. So this is Friday's book, or Friday's comic that we did, suggested by Dee Dee Willingham. It was a typo that changes history. That was the idea for this one, and so this is what we did on Friday, or well, Thursday we started it. Had it posted for Friday. Saturday's post was fight shot, which is one of my little idea ones, and as opposed to a direct suggestion from somebody else, it's just a notion I wanted to try, just like Sunday's page, which was Big Smiles. I learned to do something new for Big Smiles. I'm very excited about that. All right, so Big Smiles is it's all about taking care of your teeth, kids. And who better to tell you about taking care of your teeth than some vampires? And then Monday's page, today's Monday. Today's page that was suggested on Friday was Frank Salazar's. It's at the top of the page. Dragon, rethinking his life choices. So Frank suggested that on Friday, or for Friday, and that's what we did. And this is it. So, yes, Corbin. So it's a mixed media page. I drew the majority of it in pencil crayon. I've got the originals here in. So it light on? So the originals, pencil crayon on. Well, it started on one piece of paper, but then I was drawing in front of the television, so I used a smaller piece of paper and a little scrap of canvas that I had. And then it's a matter of taking these images together and formatting them into the computer to put them to text, and that's how we get our finished page. So I like that. Like, even though I drew backgrounds behind, this character down here, and which is the same character here, I drew full backgrounds behind them. I just didn't use them. In this case, it blanched out, but it managed to hold on to all the colors in the character. My palette, or my colors were, I had 6 colors I was allowed to use, 6 pencil crayons, and then I tried to stick to the same limit of paints, but I actually ended up using, I think, 5 paints instead of the 6, so that worked out well. The black in both of these, or the dark gray black color, comes from mixing blues and browns. So rather than using a black pencil crayon or a black paintbrush or black paint. So this page is Dragon rethinking his life choices as suggested by Frank Salazar. Now, I've got choices for today that I could be doing. There's it's been asked of me if I would draw digital, if I could draw, what would it take to get me to draw only in digital for a year? So, hey, Didi. Whoa, my screen is not, it's not that it's blank, Didi. It's just that I went to a clear page. My screen is black still? It looks fine on mine. Is it still black? I don't know what to do about that. I did all the stuffs. Hopefully it's not still black. Maybe it went blank for a second because I went to the white page. You see my screen? Well, I don't know. Maybe it did go blank for a second. Okay. Okay, so Friday's page. Nope, that's not it. Friday's page for Didi, and then or Thursday's page, Friday's page, Saturday's page. I've done that wrong. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is Sunday's page, and today's page. So I got two choices for either way. Hi, how are you? Welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome aboard, Didi. There's two choices. I can either do a traditional piece again on paper, or okay, I'm back. Okay, thank goodness. Thank you, Didi. I'm back. Or I can try to draw a page digitally. It's up to you guys, I guess. But this was a fun one. This is pencil, crayon, and paint. This is all manner of stuff. This is traditional stuff, that is. This is half traditional and half digital. This is fully traditional, either mixed or just black and white with zipatone put on it. So it's been a fun last few days, you know. But I don't have any. If anybody has an idea right now, I'm good to go with it. Otherwise, I've got some notions we can start with. I'm pretty open when it comes to this sort of stuff. So there's been a whole bunch of. Hey, Philip. There's been a whole bunch of stuff thrown my way of late that, yeah, I'm keen to work with. So it's a tricky thing, you know, trying to come up with, well, I'd say it's a tricky thing trying to come up with a comic each day, but I tend to have it just sort of, once you get in a zone, you get into that zone and you just sort of run with things. And, you know, that could be really fun. But I don't know. Let's try digital. I'll try digital today. I'm pretty open. What do you think, Corbin? Here you go. There's your moment. There's your moment. There's your moment. There you are. There's your moment. Okay. Now get down. Stop climbing on me. Yep. All right. So I got a page. Now what I'll do is that I'll go to the previous page that I worked on, and I'll just take the rectangular tool. I'll drag it over the whole base layer of the page. And pink waving person, turquoise waving good vibes. And hello, Corbin. Philip says hello to you, Corbin. He double takes the screen. That's good. Is that a suggestion, Philip? Hand pink waving person, turquoise waving good vibes? Or are you okay? Okay. What I'll do is I'll go into the rectangular tool. I'll drag it over the base layer, copy that, and then open a new page, and it's the same size. And so, you know, that makes it nice and easy. Nice and easy, right, Corbin? He's just in his heyday, Philip, since you said hi to him. Ridiculous, the personality that we assign to our animals. It's one of those things where, you know, your pets are doing whatever your pets are doing on a regular basis, but we sort of take that and make of it what we will. You know, we sort of assign to it like all kinds of crazy notions that, oh, I think he's doing this. I think he's doing that. So Philip says, I'm okay. I'm just waving hi. There you go. Thanks, Philip. That's very nice of you. Okay, so I've got some silly ideas for this one. There's hold on, I gotta make sure I'm on a new layer. I keep doing this thing where I keep drawing on the base layer when I'm trying to draw digitally, and I really, really annoy myself when I do that. So anyhow, I don't know if Frank saw the page yet or not, but I hope he likes it. What am I on? There we go. Okay, I wasn't pressing hard enough. I've got a different working process when it comes to digital. I'm gonna click my face off for the moment because You really don't need to see my face. So, yeah. Who we got? Oh, Adam's joined. Hello, Adam. I don't know how Dee Dee does it. I appreciate everybody coming by. It's really, really cool. We all get to hang out and talk comics. But I don't know how Dee Dee keeps up with. She has like 80 people watching her, and they're all hi, 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 and it's whoa. My goodness, that's a fair body of work. Just because you want to engage with everybody, but at the same time, it's tricky, right? All right, so either way, I respect your ability to do that, Dee Dee. It's pretty impressive. So I've been drawing. Now I've got to improve on this because I know that I'm probably making it, as I usually do, make it more and more challenging for myself. But I tend to be drawing, at a reduced, like the same size as I draw all my regular stuff. So when you get slit up people, when you get lots of people that just tell them to put comments to me in caps. Yeah, slit. I like that. Yeah, that's neat. I'm trying to keep up. I just maybe I'm not. Maybe we know it's true. I'm not as adept at the online stuff as everybody else is. Here's something I'm loving. When Chris starts drawing in the wrong place, I can move it. So this is I've got a painting that I've been working on behind me in the studio, which you can't see right now, of course, because I have the camera turned off. But slit's a new word now. We're going to use that for a lot. He says, lot people. I like that. There's a painting I'm working on behind me in the studio, and I've got these ideas for this ridiculous painting. It's already silly enough to my wife that I've got one guy asking another guy if he wants to see his dance moves. She's just, I don't get it, but it's nice. So, but wow, that's fantastic, Dee Dee. 13 years of doing your YouTube show. That's great. And good afternoon, Mr. Luan. Jim, I think it was you that said I should be drawing some more digital. So I'm going to give it a shot today. So bear with me, everybody. Bear with me as I venture into the challenging world of digital doodly doing. Yes, Corbin. Corbin is going to help me by trying to climb on me every 23 seconds. I see you, pal. So this is a character that I'm scribbling out that I'm going to put on one of these paintings. It's just a funny thing to me, and half of what I do is really to just amuse myself. I'm not. Corbin, stop climbing on me. I'm not one to have really grand ideas here, but what's this? Jim says America and Canada are working together to defeat the balloon armies. Yeah, I heard that Canada shot a balloon, and as much as it's probably referring to the whole unknown air balloons flying above our nations, I actually hope that it's our prime minister just shooting some random kid's balloon in Ottawa, because I wouldn't put that past our prime minister either. Making balloons illegal in Canada for the time being. He's a little extreme. So I'm still on the same layer. I'm going to try some different layers here, but I just want to get the character down first. And so bear with me. It's taking me a minute to draw, but so she's hiking up her pants. Why? Because Sometimes you got to hike your pants up, folks. It's something I find myself doing a lot these days. I changed my pant size there in a good way, but now I find myself doing that thing we did when we were kids. You're walking and hiking your pants at the same time. Real classy stuff. It's only when my wife takes me out. Dee Dee says, well, I know if I was flying in that airspace, I wouldn't want to crash into one the size of a football field. Ideally, I would hope that the pilot would be able to drive around. But fly around. So this is a character that just makes me crack right up. It's a lady who's 50. I'm 50. Yeah, the balloon thing is kind of crazy. It's like it's the 1930s all over again. It's because that's what was going on. People didn't necessarily trust any of the German balloons in the sky once the things started changing in the political climate in Germany and specifically, but in Europe. There was a whole thing about balloons was going to be the coolest way to travel. So I kind of like the notion of that. But when I see how they used to load on gantries on like at the Empire State Building and the like, I'm like, no, that would never happen. I gave her Philip asked why I gave her an old woman voice for 50, because when the comedian would do this character, she did her kind of like Flo, the waitress on Alice. And if you get that reference, you're probably close to 50. But she'd always go, I'm 50. Like she's just that kind of a tough broad. Or that sort of snarky, I smoke cigarettes. When I was 23 years young, I watched Elvis Presley from right in front of the stage. And she'd say it with this sort of lasciviousness, But just a fun character, and fun characters are fun characters. So it's like one of my favorite characters is Lorraine. I did a drawing of Lorraine a couple years ago when I first came on YouTube, and Mo Collins checked it out. It was pretty cool. The comedian that played this character of Lorraine. She's incredibly funny. Anyways, a lot of energy in this character and just crazy behavior. So that works for me. You remember Alice, Phil, because you're 1,000 years young. I wanna be that crazy, creepy old guy on the bench at the park. Go, you kids don't even know. And they'll say, yeah, old man, give us your wallet. That's a different statement. Philip Chandler said this, everybody. Hilarious and weirdly fitting if World War III broke out over balloons. I don't know. I can hold off on the whole World War III thing for now. Orthopedic shoe, that's what this is. It's a big day tomorrow for Valentine's Day. All kinds of people are going to look at all over the top romantic, and they, don't normally, and instead of just having fun on a regular basis. And then other people are going to get all melancholic and, feeling bad when they really shouldn't, because they're wonderful people just because you're not with might not be with somebody. I hope those people that do don't reevaluate themselves. And then the rest of us are going to be like, yep, it's February 14th. And, my wife and I we appreciate it from Valentine's Day, but we bought ourselves tickets to go see something in July. So, everybody's doing their thing in their own way. I hate holidays that have hype, especially when their holidays are started to sell greeting cards. So, all right. This is a silly character, but I love it. So, but Chris is learning how to do things on the computer. So I have a page in my last book that's it's called I Do My Dance Moves, and it's basically about me doing different dances, just to do different dances, and they're ridiculous dances, but it's fun. I like stuff like that. I like playing with an idea and exploring it as much as I can. There's I find that drawing digitally can be really fun. It has a lot to do with finding that comfortable pen setting or finding that comfortable positioning for how to work. It's one of those things where I had a hard time. I had a really hard time finding that out until I signed up for Scott Cirkland's newsletter, CircWorks, and he has these digital pens on there, and it's the best pencil. It's the best digital pencil that I've come across. That's in that package, and you'd get if you signed up for his newsletter. So I'm really thankful to Scott for providing me with the pencil that the pencil brush for the Photoshop that I finally needed to be able to do this. So thank you very much, Mr. Cirkland. So now I'm drawing another one of her doing her moves. It's a silly notion, but it's fun to just explore it, and then as I'm going through drawing the character and drawing the different images in the different panels, it lets me construct the narrative as I go. Which is it's a different structuring of how to go about the process of. Some people will sit down and lay out their whole page. Some people will sit down and have an entire project structured and broken down before they start drawing. There's no right or wrong way. Everybody works differently. I tend to work kind of impetuously, impulsively, and without a net. So these collars that I'm drawing in on her and her lapel is a lot more ornate. I'm going to get to that when I get to the next layer, once I get the characters all drawn in, because it's just fun, But I'm at the point now, my objective right now is thinking that if I can do, as soon as I get 50 pages together, I'm going to start assembling one-page comic extravaganza volume 2, because I'm feeling really confident and really comfortable with the pages that I've been doing daily here now. I think I'm finally got a rhythm going. Or maybe I'll go to 60 and then have a little bit of editorial. If anybody that's any of our art friends that are out here in the engaging here today, if anybody wants to be involved in that process of picking which ones, that might be some fun. So we could probably work something out for that. But got to put her person. Got to get this crazy person here. So this is a secondary layer that I'm on now from our first the first character's on one layer, this character's on a second. And then let's just keep going. I'll keep doing some different moves. This is where I finally figured out this is that to make it bigger so I can do these smaller bits like the eyes and the face, and like, because I still keep trying to draw them at this reduced scale so that I can fit it on the screen. But in the course of doing so, I really hamstring myself to be able to draw it because it's so small. And I've got my pencil on a really light setting. That's why you see a bit of a going over of my lines, because I like the idea that it works similar to me for an actual pencil where I can work up the line. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Is anybody able to sit down and take some time for yourself to do some of those things that you want to do? That's a tricky thing these days to be able to have that time anymore. Certain point in life, you get so many responsibilities that it becomes, I set these objectives for myself. And then it becomes this effort of whether or not you make them, right? Some people don't. Some people go, hey, you don't have any objective timetables for anything. And that works for them. Other people write down how long it should take them to eat their toast. Gotta get this hair in here. It gets crazier, I think, all the time. Just try to keep it relatively consistent considering how bonkers the hair is. What have we got? We started the Last of Us TV show, says Gary. Yeah, a lot of people are saying good things. I hope you're enjoying that, Gary. I hope that's something you guys are liking. Didi says, art is what I do. I hear you, Didi. I'm the same boat for that. I tend not to be a days off guy, just because I can't stop. I can't stop. Yeah, it'll say on my gravestone, he finally put that pencil down. That are drawn up in the sky. He's working on a piece up in the clouds now. Maybe not. Anyways, I like a good character that is just unabashed and just goes for it, And that's kind of what this character is. What do we say? Didi says she reads at night. Nice. Hashtag my life. Nice. 4 episodes in, really surprised how good it is. Surprised since number 1. Sort of over the zombie apocalypse genre. You played through the game, you know the story. Nice. I've got an art design book of it. I've never played it. I can't play video games to save my skin. But I've got an art design of it, and it's just lovely. I mean, okay, the plant zombie people are gross, but the loving art that goes into that is just fantastic. That's the sort of thing that sort of I look at and I see people following this course of action. I think, good for you. Like what a gift that is to be able to design something so free natured. Dee Dee says she bought a book recommendation that Gary gave her, The Creative Act by Rubin. Is that Rick Rubin? It is good. Ooh, excellent. A couple chapters in. That's great. That's good stuff. Rick Rubin keeps popping up in my feed, left, right, and center, with his pearls of wisdom, and it's like, yeah, seems to have a pretty good idea on getting out of the way of others to do what they do best. Need more people like Rick Rubin. I don't know enough about the guy other than he's loved by many and a good person to work creatively with in music. Somebody told me he invented rap, and I find that hard to believe. I think rap was probably because rap came out of the beat movement. So he probably was the first person to capitalize on producing rappers, but rap's been around since the 50s. Well, it started in the 50s, organically growing from there. Got to get that high waist on her. And then I'm going to come in here. I'm going to switch this leg up a little bit. Yeah. I don't know how much I changed that, but yeah, okay. I know what it is now. It's right here. Good. Okay. Maybe mainstreamed rap. That's what Gary says. Nice, Gary. All right. So I'm going to jump to another layer and draw one more. Basically, the gist of the character is she's just extreme. Everybody has that extreme aunt or that extreme friend of your parents that would come over, and she was always loud and everybody loved her, but it was that kind of loud, over the top aunt. I'm just showing you the breakdown of the body, by the way. Sorry. Just because it's such a crazy, such a crazy dynamic. I'm really itching to start coloring already. What time are we at? 34 minutes. Oh, geez, only 34 minutes. Okay. Well, all right. In that case, I'll finish this one. Now I've got all these. Okay, I got another layer going, so. Tonight's a London Comic Jam here in London. I'm really excited. It's something that I do each month. I love it. It's a lot of fun. Anybody that's tunes in today, I highly encourage you to take part in a comic jam or some kind of jam of your interest. And it is such a fantastic way to take yourself out of your comfort zone as a creator, to be able to try to push along with somebody else's narrative that they've already started structuring. And I think that it's something that may well be responsible for helping me to grow enough creatively to really pursue trying to tell stories in a much more editorialized way. That is a terrible line. Yep, I just look for a real eraser, folks. Woo! That's how you know you're used to drawing traditionally, when you make a mistake in your digital drawing and you try to find an actual eraser. Boy, oh boy. I think the problem here is that I've shortened that leg up, taken some of that energy out of it. Hey, welcome aboard, Jane. I'm tucking in this line up as it's my weird way of pushing it over, so giving it enough form to be real. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm not alone. Welcome aboard, Jane. Jane says that she points to the screen all the time with the finger and expect others to see it. Oh, and that's very nice. Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, and thank you again, Dee Dee, for letting people know about the madness that is here. All right, so this is just going to get this in here. I think I'm throwing myself off because I'm not one that puts down structural lines, and when I do, I think I really throw myself off because now I try to incorporate them, even though I know that I feel like, hey, this isn't feeling right, but I still try to incorporate said line. It's a bit mental, I know, but let me get rid of this. Yeah, that's better. I should have done that a few minutes ago, to tell you the truth. Hi, Kat. Welcome aboard. Okay, so I'm just going to throw together this last character, and then what I'm going to do is and I move her over just a little bit so she's not kicking herself in the face. There we go. Just because the character's got this crazy kick they do. But what a lot of fun and a lot of energy, and I like it. So I change that line, give a little bit of form in there. Got to make sure that I'm getting this crazy outfit in. Part of what makes this character so fun is this crazy getup that she's wearing. There we go. That's a little more realistic. What am I on? That's why. Okay, so let's get this crazy person This is just one of those characters that's so over the top that it's a catchy, phrasey kind of a, stretched realism. But at the same time, yeah, Didi, your video was really good this morning. I really enjoyed that as well. That was a lot of fun. It's fun watching somebody else that's going through some materials that they just bought with this glee. Oh, it's like if the camera was on you, you'd just see that glimmer in your face of that mad scientist look. That creative's good. Look at that stamp. That elephant stamp, by the way, was fantastic. She's hiking up her pants in the first one. You got it. This is what she does. She's a dancing maniac. But she's an unfiltered, unencumbered character, and I kind of like that. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. Get that in, just so that I can get these details in her face. And it's a really rough picture today, but now I'm doing that thing that we do. I don't know if anybody else can back up to this, right? But if does anybody make the faces of the characters they're drawing? I do that thing all the time. It's a little embarrassing. There are definitely moments where I need to have the camera off myself if people are watching me draw, because I'm making that face, or I just made that face that the character just is wearing or is expressing right now in the image. And so while I'm drawing her, I've been doing this silly face myself. So because you got to do it. It's that sympathetic magic. If I make the face myself, I'm going to draw it better. It's like guitar players and their whole shtick of wow, wow, wow. They make that painful face as they're making their guitar hit those bend notes and those squeaky little solo notes, and they look like they're in an absolute agony. Sympathetic magic, that's what I call it. You're getting it out of your guitar because you're paying for it. The cost is paid. But I tend to do the expressions of characters as I'm drawing them. I'm missing a whole bunch, and I'm so sorry for that. I always try to catch some of Didi's mornings. Work gets in the way sometimes. I was working while I was watching. I hope that's I'm not the only one doing that. What I missed a whole bunch. What am I doing? Are her pants falling off? Yes. No. She's making sure they don't. I'm living vicariously through Didi. Yeah, there you go. I got plenty of mixed media in my guts, that's for sure. Didi's getting in trouble. Not buying new stuff. Gary makes the faces too. Thank you, Gary. And half the time, he takes selfies up for reference. I do that too. Oh my goodness, so many alien faces. That's fantastic. Yeah, you got to do the tongue thing. You got to do it. You have to. Yeah, Gary's his clay alien model is phenomenal. I really enjoy it. It's really great. That's the sort of thing that just makes me smile, is when somebody goes so far as to craft, something that is clearly going to assist them in their process. And and we don't, we don't get to judge that, because that's helping that person facilitate that. Well, yeah, I'm saying I don't get to judge it, because I think that really facilitates those creators to be able to do what it is that they're doing. And I like that. I like that a lot, when somebody will go and take that step, go and take that effort to do that, to make sure that they get that face of those aliens just the right way, or just get all the same key points in there again. So Frank Hampton was a guy that would do Dan Dare comics in England, and look at this business. Angel Halo. Frank Hampton did Dan Dare comics in Britain, and he would have his studio mates would model with him, and they would take photographs of themselves, and they would utilize those in the images. And it's really cute and funny to see some of these professional, office workers and men and women in their upwards into their 40s and 50s, all standing there with homemade ray guns and standing in these ridiculous little poses. I really enjoyed that. So I've got a neat book on that here in the studio. That's very inspiring to me. Am I on the right layer? I don't know. Yes, I am. Just taking out some of these lines. Okay, so here's my thinking. So with the breakdowns of these characters, my idea is that I'm going to jump another layer underneath them. And I'm going to throw down some big hits of value. And so we've got the structure of the panel sizes. We're matched up. There we go. So if I plot in 8 by 12, and so my idea with stuff sometimes is just to hit it with a background value, like just a fun tone to throw in behind, and then is this going to be too dark? No, we're going to work with that. And then to come on over top of that and throw down another value to start coloring in the character and the character's clothing. And it's a different, I do it really chunky and sloppy, and I'm not overly concerned about that, because sometimes that affords you things that you might not have found otherwise. That's clunky, but that's okay. Let's fill in that. So it's sort of fun to carve it out, and in that imprecise way that just sort of says, you've got the values laid in. They might not be precise, but that might afford you some fun and interesting things. One of the artists that we published with my comic company here in London, she used to color. She had a really interesting way of seeing some things, and she used to color with she'd grab the hold of the rectangle tool and just rough, like rough shape something like this, and then she'd hit that with a belt of color, and then she'd color in the leg, or she'd color in the shoe or something. Like, it was just a different aesthetic, and I always appreciated that. That it's a very unique way of coloring. And she never colored the entire page either. She'd just color a random piece of it. And yet, for some reason, for me, I found that really compelling. I found something really interesting in that. And, it's the strangest things that you'll find alluring. You know what I mean? Like, it's the strangest sort of the stuff that just stands out for you is maybe not what initially you would have expected, or it's maybe not initially what if you had sat down and overthought it, you would never have done that. But it allows you to build up and develop something in a way that you wouldn't have otherwise. Find the opportunities, right? Let's see if this will work. Oh, get the ants. Get those ants out of here. No, just gonna do the whole background. Oh, because I'm on a different layer. That's why. All right. I like the ICAs we have with color, Chris, but I got to run for a bit. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Jane. Very nice of you. Okay, so I'll stay on this layer. Start cutting some specifics into it. This is it reminds me of my Aunt Marion. My Aunt Marion was very much that is very much that vivacious personality. I don't know how old Marion is now, 80, maybe. So I'm getting a little more clear in where I'm putting the lines. I'm being a little more purposeful on that. Press the button, my finger, as I was doing it. So I don't know how other people, there's probably everybody's got their own specific way of how they go about doing it. I've put these layers underneath the penciled layers. The pencil layers are all still sitting on their own spot. Every individual, I mean by that, every individual is penciled under a layer. So I'm drawing with a digital pen. I know that some people use a mouse when they're working digitally, and probably because they've been doing it for a long time before digital pens really are what they are now, and that's understandable. So I'm starting to learn more about Photoshop now. I finally sat down and got real about it and started doing some homework. I learned how to do for the page. One of the pages that I did this weekend, there is the vampire page that I did. I think that maybe that's Sunday. The teeth page. Brush your teeth as told by vampires. I did that with a special effect on the teeth. Let me see if I pull that up. There it is. Where I finally learned how to do some work with lettering so that I've got an embedded image inside of each of the pieces of the title, Big Smiles. I've got embedded in that vampire dentures. Because even vampires get old. So that was fun. All right, a couple more little bits of business, and then we'll figure out what's next. Crazy purse. So I'm just looking for interesting tones, interesting values, especially with this weirdo background color that I've got. It doesn't actually mean anything, those color choices. because I find that the digital process is so freeform, and it's very let's sketch and let's have fun, that I'm not too overly concerned here. But Kat says, I'm having internet trouble. I'll say goodnight. Hopefully it'll be sorted tomorrow. Yeah, I hope so, Kat. Have a great day. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. What's left? Oh, let's do some nice loafers. Tennis, the comfortable tennis shoe. I have a tendency, this is another silly thing. I have a tendency to draw people with big feet because I have big feet. And, I think it's one of those things where I just used to looking at these clod hoppers that I got down there. Sort of all my characters I have to restructure their feet all the time because I'll draw them absurdly large. I think I did okay today, though. That's a nice change. Is that everybody's shoes? Yeah, okay, so there's all the basics. Yeah, this is just fun. Now I wanted to go in and do this. I want to pull a couple of, that's the one. Now I've got in my pencils, I've gone and downloaded a whole bunch of different patterns and spatters and silly bits of business. That really helps me out. But another thing that I've got, and I'm just going to open something up here for a second. One more. Yeah, this is it. My computer is slogging today, people, and I'm sorry for that. Here we are, halftones. And this is from Scott's, the package I told you about from Scott. Why is it not showing me any? Here we go. Thank you. We'll go with that one. Yeah. Oh, what? What? Well, you just stink. All right, that's okay. I have made a whole bunch of different random patterns and things that I save. And then this is a lot of source imagery that I keep kicking around. Or scans of stuff. Like those are scans of sketch cards of Frank. I thought I had in there. Oops. No, it's not in that. Oh, there it is. Yep, found it. There you are. Oh, I don't know what that means. Okay, well, the hell with that. So I've got some spatter and effects in here. What does it say? A few years ago, I picked up this old sewing magazine from '68. Amazing color photos of the styles. It's been great reference material. Yeah, I learned something recently, and that is that I can open up a thing, right? Now, if I drag this down and throw this layer onto here, now I don't need this anymore, so I can just kill it. Now, if I take this layer and I can put it in her outfits and change her clothing by just by stamping it over top. I learned how to do that recently. And to me, that's a dangerous, dangerous thing. So, there's fun stuff ahead. And we're trying to do some different silly things with my pages, I think, coming up. There we go. Okay, so this is what I'm referring to, and I've got some different screens and Photoshop stuff that I can bring together now, where it's kind of a fun Now I could just as readily take what I've put down already and stretch it out a little bit so it just takes up the whole space, but you can see it changes the pattern somewhat. But we're going to leave that as it is. So if I take, I'm going to get this off of this first and foremost. Okay, so if I take the line art that I've done and I can compress that to one layer. So let's start there and just get rid of some of all these silly layers that I've got going. Yeah, there's that. And then here's my color layer. So if I take this and I duplicate it, now this is what I've learned to do. And then I take it again. And the reason I'm duplicating it as opposed to just using this one is that I want to be able to have this one. Hey, Paul Page joined us. Hi, Paul. Okay, so what I've learned to do is to do this special. So I got the okay, so if I highlight this layer here, okay, that is on top. And then I'm trying to think of what the buttons were. I go over here to the layers and I create a clipping mask. And then I think I click a new layer icon. That's what it is. I had to look up a note I made. So when I click up the new layer icon, now when I take this jazz out, you can see how it's just on the characters themselves. So it's how you make your characters do this. Now my characters are all day glow. And so I've been learning different things like this now, and I'm having a ball. So, oh, Dee Dee's heading out. Thanks for hanging out, Dee Dee. Thanks very much for joining us, and thanks for your stream today. It was a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Luan is in the room. Paul Pate is his spirit animal. So I learned how to do that today, and it's a really fun and cool kind of an energy to be able to do that. It's it's one of those things where you wouldn't think that that would come together as easily as it does, but it do. I have a habit, by the way, of duplicating layers all the time, and then I'm always putting backups together as I'm working because I am a neurotic nut. So, all right. So you can see the Dayglow now that's in the characters from doing that clipping approach. It's how I did the letters on this page. That what I just showed you to put the Dayglow dots on our dancing character is the same way that I did the big smiles on the dentist page. So, I'm learning things. I'm done figuring them out. So I can put the screen that I have on my brush is let me pull up a new layer. It's not going to let me do it on the one that I had. So now I've got that. So I can go ahead and stretch this out and have it take up the space that I want to. I think I'll make it the whole. But the problem with this is I find that the computer doesn't like having to deal with all of this mess now. So that I can put it behind the ladies. See, I'm figuring it out. I'm learning. I'm listening to the voices. So then I can go ahead here and highlight the gals. And that's where the fun kicks in. I'm really having a ball with the stroke key and some of the roughness of illustration and erasing out. And then when you do this rough color, you get these crazy shapes now. So this is the sort of experimentation that I've been doing lately, guys, when it comes to digital, is that I'm literally just clicking things and seeing what happens. And for me, I think that that's working out a little bit. I'm having a fun time. It's helping me structurally put together pages in a really fast way. And, it's just, that's the sort of thing that I'm personally looking for when I'm working, when I'm drawing. And, I want to find those avenues by which to explore the characters and to try to put together those narratives and stuff. So I've got a layer sitting over top of the existing Dayglow layer, and I've got my opacity at full. Whoops. Yeah, I'm going to cut that back. There. Okay. So I like to cut the opacity down so that I can bring up the value. I can get a little blend going on in there myself. But I find that this is a really effective, fast way to get some cool color. And I really wanted to do a color in this old school format. So let me play with something else here. Would be a good color to use. Just stay with the red, or should I go? Yeah, let's just do a little bit deeper red. So I'm on that raised layer. I'm going to pull out these little details that I did in the face. Plate those out. Get out of there. And I'm going to instead focus on this fun bit of shamil shamazel of putting in, I'm going to thicken that up, putting in some of these details in the outfit. See, ideally I would have embedded this before I flatten it all out. But it's just fun. Just ridiculous. Take some of that business out of there. Anyways. Cut that size down. Yeah, the Zipatone is fun. The way I went about putting that together is in the video here. If anybody wants to try that, please do. I think that it's a cool effect, and it's something that it's just a brush, a Zipatone brush that I loaded up one day. But those little things that open up avenues for us to try different stuff out. That's the little key peaky moments there. I'm going to really cut that tone down here. I need the same size. Put some of the shape and texture back in. Yeah, this is, again, trying something new, throwing at whatever at the wall and seeing what sticks. But it lets us really redefine how we're telling our stories, just by trying different things. I did this all in its own layer so that, I can do this and pull it back out again if I feel like it's not going the way I want, which is how I feel. But it's still, worth trying. Yeah, I'm going to pull that out. May no likey. So I think instead, yeah. Hey, thanks very much, Paul. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Oh, that's really nice of you. Skedaddle. Thank you, sir. I'm having a lot of fun, guys, and I'm having a lot of fun with these suggestions that people are sending me, and keep them rolling in. By all means, it's yeah. See, this is something. Just some crazy lines, some crazy textures in here. I'm looking at more. To have to do something completely different each day for me has been a real opportunity to challenge myself in ways that I may not have done before. So keep those ideas flying at me. I ain't afraid of nothing except for dragons. I had to make sure today that I made a comment about dragons aren't real. So don't get all upset at me about, I can't believe you wrote that, it's going to eat a dog. Is it? Yeah. Trying to put some dads back here. Let's dad up this business down here. Unless you look closely, you don't realize that those weren't really there. The stripe on that belt. Yeah, these are a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, this approach. So I'm going to pull out again, pull back out here. And oops, I just woke up Corbin. All right, so I'm going into the text, and then I'm going to put in, I'm on one layer, and on another layer, I'm going to put 50. Because she always, and then I'm holding down the shift for anybody. I find that this is a fast way to make things bigger. I'm 50. All right, and then I'm going to drop that layer in behind, which is kind of some fun in the sun there, you know. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the I'm part. And drop that in behind the characters again. Just, I like half covering things a lot. I tend to find I like embedding things in behind one another. It's a fun thing to me. Now I can even get a little more silly by dropping the red polka dot layer. No, that's not even highlighted. I'm so sorry. Where's the red layer? Is this it? That's it. Yep. So I'm gonna I can pull the red polka dot layer over the numbers as well to drop some of that highlight on them. But I think that what I'm going to do first is sync these two suckers up and then merge them as to one line. And then we'll put a stroke line on that too. I'm 50. See, the little fiddly bits I got going here. this. Yeah. Okay, good. That's fun. It really, oh, thanks very much, Philip. You can see how it sort of really pushes that. It looks like an old comic. It kind of looks like an old comic. It's not an old comic, but it has that vibe to it. Because an old comic couldn't have differentiated between the Dayglow dots on the drawings and the backgrounds from the clear, clean text, right? I mean, it was all Dayglow. Dayglow dots, I think is what they called that. So you can pull it down a little bit so I can fit it in there with the character a little more. But just this character being so proud that they're 50. Her name is Sally O'Malley, I think is what it is. But I've got... Now I saved an additional colored layer of her. Now, or I saved an additional line art layer. You can see me popping it back up and down here. So if I take this colored, if I take this line art layer and I can pick a, I'm going to just make a color screen right here below it. That's just going to go the same size as the purple screen I've got down there now. So it's going to disappear for a second. Whoops. Well, why don't I try cooler color? There we go. So now she's sticking out there. And I'm going to duplicate that layer. I'm going to throw it over top of this one. I want to duplicate this before I forget. But let's shut one off and go back to this. And I'm going to turn everything off yet because I'm not sure if everything else is going to. I'm doing the same thing. Anyways, I'm doing the same thing. I'm putting a clipping mask over here over top of the line art to see if this works. So it's now changed the blue line to, it's now changed the line drawing that I did here to blue line art. So let's see if that sticks out. Yeah, that's what I want. What's this one? Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this. So again, it's just experimenting, right? Like it's just. So let me see. I don't need that. I think there's that. There's the blue line art. No, we don't need this. That was testing a pattern. See, that's, now if I color that in. So now I got fun things happening. I can put that embedded image in behind the other one, and it sort of stands. If I take out our main characters, I'm going to actually, you know what? I'm going to do this before I go any further. Just so it's done and it's out of my head. I'm just going to put that little bit of fiddly bits on top back in. 50. This and this, that was our existing thing. And then we put the blue drawn versions of them, or we can have the orange drawn version or the colored versions of them with the blue lines on them instead of black lines. So that's kind of fun too. Or I can put another color field in there with the blue line art. Now I had the blue one there, right? But we'll take that blue color field and I'm going to switch it to, well, let me switch it to the orange, right? And what I can do is come in there and erase all around that now so that it's just an orange version of the characters inside the background there. We can try that too. Like this is what I do when I do stuff on the computer. Like I'll draw everything out traditionally. But then when I go into the computer, I'm going nuts. Like I'm using that stroke function, you know, and when I've got, like if I take all this background stuff out, And the white there, or I'll do this for myself. I do this all the time. I will make the secondary layer of black and put that behind things so that I can see how it jumps out and pops out. And sometimes that black background is so much better than the white background. You know, it wouldn't be much different if I were to do this as the purple or the gray or you know, we could even try something as ridiculous as the yellow. Like it's just trying those different backgrounds gives all this different energy to it. And then, you know, when you go like this and you start playing with, whoops, I'm sorry, it's the wrong layer. If I play with these little changes where I put the Dayglow dots all over the background and see what that gives me. I can also cut into it in the sense that I'll cut an exterior frame to that. So I'll run into this layer, measure it down to that standard spacing that I have at the top and bottom of all of these one pages that I'm doing, the same format. I try to keep that same measurement on the outside edge, whether it's an embedded measurement or not, or I've got bleed over. But you can see how in the previous pages, there is, I'm going to take this off. Sorry, I've had this on the whole time and I apologize. I'm so thankful that somebody knows that that's Molly Shannon. That's fantastic. Excellent. Thank you very much, Jim. Yeah, that's Sally O'Malley. I'm 50. Anyways, so this, you can see how there's a universal external line running up the sides here. It's relatively there for everything, despite whatever different things are happening on different pages. It's still there. You can see it hidden inside each page, and that's the unifying factor, I think. So I can even do something like that here. But the difference would be is that I can't just, if I try to put a stroke line over this layer, like I'll show you, if I try to put a stroke line, it just goes over the dots, which, you know, could well be interesting. But I don't think it suits what I'm trying to do. So I would sooner run an actual frame around it and then just put like a solid black stroke line on that. Stroke it. Yeah. So, you know, and then that really sort of ties it all together. And so now it's just a matter of putting the text to it. And here's our one-page comic on Molly Shannon. You know, and that it comes together pretty easily for to just sit down and to be able to do that. Is it the most perfect thing? Is it the drawing really clean and tight and well-rounded? No, but I'm kind of comfortable with the style of it. I really kind of enjoy that. It feels like, you know, Jane, I'm back. Hey, I did that when I turned 60. Did you lift and stretch and kick? That's what Molly says. Or Sally O'Malley, that's the character. So I'm going to put some of the text around her saying the sort of catchy phrases that she says. I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this background blue line version of the characters that I've changed our black line art here. I've changed it to blue. I'm going to do one in orange, and then I'm going to reverse it. And I'm going to stick that through the image too, just so that there's all kinds of little visual excitement in the background. It's not just this sort of static, whatever it is, right? Like it gives the viewer something that moves their eye around. It's not, because if I take it out, I think that when it comes out of there, well, now this feels a little flat to me, you know, and by having some of that little energetic light blue line in there, and the reason that I've suggested the orange, I may well do, is because the orange is a root color that runs throughout this entire image. It's the day glow dots that are over the characters. It's the color of the numbers. It's the day glow color that's for the background. You know, if I wanted to be make it a little more interesting, I might stretch it across. You know, it's just fun. It's just a big blue block. Yeah, the background. If the characters are out, is that what you're saying, Jane? It just becomes a flat, dull space, right? So we want to do something with that. We want to give that some of that energy. And I think that a way to do that is to try just what I was saying about. Let's try. What has anybody got a preference on which color to do for that background value? Do we want to do orange? Because I'm okay with the orange. Which one's this? That's this. That's just, I copied it. I see what I did. I don't want to lose the blue. So I've got, I can do the orange, or I'll switch the orange up to red. So we just duplicate it. Okay. Now I'm going to put the extra duplicated layer over top of the line art layer. Okay. I'm just going to make sure I erase everything else. So it just looks like it's just this flat square. Right? Okay. Thank you, Gary. That's tomorrow's one page right there. That's great. I got to write that down. I'll write it down in a moment. Let me finish this up. Okay, so you've got to make sure that the over top layer is highlighted. Okay. Get the marching ants on it, right? And then leave that there. Go on up to your layer, hit the clipping mask. And maybe everybody knows this. Maybe I'm really behind the times here. But put a new layer above that. And then I will delete the bottom color layer, layer 13 here. You can see on the side. So I'm going to turn that off. See how it's orange line art now? And then what I'll do next is I'm going to merge all of those layers together. So now I've got that sneaky orange line art there. Let's turn everything back on. So you can see how we've now got the orange version of it. And we've got the blue version of it. But the orange version of it, I'm going to go into transform, and I flip the horizontal on that. So now I've got two versions of it. I've got the blue and I've got the orange. So if I want, I can stretch. There we go. Now we've got a dance number. If I put our characters over top, if I put our texture, we have our texture, our deep blue, which pulls them out. Let's stretch that across farther now, so we can get both the mollies. I could even center this, maybe. That might be a smart and fun idea. Okay, what do we got? The one-page idea for tomorrow. I got to write this down right now. Okay, it is an ancient Sumerian showing off his newfangled bronze ruler, and a crowd of ancient Sumerians, artists calling him a cheater. That's for Gary. Okay. That's excellent. That's great. Gary, have you been listening to Janet M. Young? I'm not familiar with her, but maybe I should follow her channel. If you like rulers, you'll like Janet. Another person from Dee Dee's channel. Indeed. Okay, so I think I'll do this one last little bit, and then all it is putting the text in, and this page is completed. So I've got the second subversive little measurement that I follow on a lot of the pages is that I'll run things down to 1 inch. There's an inside rule line that is a sort of principle that runs through my pages, as well as the half inch. There's the full inch line. So I do that a lot. And I'm going to stretch this out to hit those marks on the sides as well. Yep. Something's off here. Why have I not got a hard line? There we go. Good with that. And then I'll take the orange ladies, and then I'll take the blue ladies. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. It looks like a big dance number now. There's our yellow back. Where did I put? Oh, we don't need that anymore. Which is this? Is that our black? That's our black line art one. This is if I was to keep those ladies being colored. This is our framed image, so I don't need this one on. That's actually, I like that better. Yeah, that's too opaque. What's this? I'm 50. This is I'm using where we are. What software am I using? This is Photoshop 5. because I'm not paying Photoshop every month to use Photoshop. And I think that while there's probably all kinds of new things that we can get out of the new Photoshop, I like this. There's an elegant simplicity to the old Photoshop that you can bang a bunch of things together and get weird results. And somebody let me try their new Photoshop a couple weeks ago. Take a look at this. Give this a go for 30 seconds. And there's so many different features now that just let you, blah, there's the thing that used to take you 4 or 5 steps. But those 4 or 5 steps, if you did in the wrong order, or if you did it with different combinations of other things thrown in, would yield some wild results. Whereas when I'm just doing it with this 1-2 punch, it loses all of that. Now, I'm sure that there's things that you can do to I don't know, engage in that process in a more proactive way. But I personally, yeah, that's more fun. I personally, I like, slamming it together and seeing what I can get out of it. I like, to explore it a little bit. I moved that down. I think I'm actually pretty good with where it was placed before. I'm trying to sneak it into that. There we go. That spacing. And then, of course, I'm going to take this part of it. I'm 50. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll change back. Jim says, I'm dangerously close to having to pay for Adobe Animate. Looking at other options, but we'll see. Yeah, if anybody has any copies of Adobe Animation or anything like that, like owned copies of whatever, what was it you were using before, Jim? If anybody that's watching this, DM Jim if you have an actual physical copy or an owned copy, not a pay-as-you-go copy of the programs that Jim needs to do what he does, because it's a very expensive proposition to have to keep doing that. And if your work doesn't pay for it for you, and you're still, in that period of time in life where these little costs still add up on all of us, like, most of us, let's be honest. Yeah, if somebody's got that and they're not using it and they can pass it Jim's way, that'd be fantastic, and allow him to keep doing his brilliant animations without having to, kneel before the almighty Photoshop. I want to try one more thing. And then I have to back away. That's the way I express it to myself. Back away. You step away. Leave it alone. Get out of there. Stop it. It's enough. Because I'll get so caught up in some part of the process and experiment with it so much that it may well indeed be counterintuitive. So, what are you? You're nothing? Did I just add you? I just added you. Good. Stroke it, stroke it, stroke. There we go. Maybe twice. Too thick. Yeah, I like it. Okay. And dropping that below the 50. Yeah, I'm 50. All right. You're on Flash CS3. So if anybody has an old copy of Flash CS3 on a key or on a disc or something like that, if you can private message Mr. Lujan, please take a look at the fantastic animations that he does, and let's keep that on track. I'm clearly a bit of a rebellious boy in that I ain't gonna pay the man. I ain't gonna pay the man. White border on the outside. You did it on the inside too. Huh. Let's try it once more. Is that too much? Is that too garish? I feel like that's too garish. Yeah, I think I just saved the red. Yeah, so if anybody can do that, that'd be fantastic. I would really personally appreciate it very much. And if anybody wants a copy of Photoshop 5, I'm going to hook you up. I have it in like 6 different places so that if my computer blows up tomorrow, I'm not going to lose it. Mind you, if I lose my one external hard drive, I'm done because everything's on that. So I got to figure that out soon. Maybe get another backup. I don't know. How many times can you back up a backup? Back. I don't trust the robots. Anyhow, so yeah. What are we at? An hour 40, a minute 40. Okay, so yeah, I'm feeling really good about this. I'm going to put some text together on this and get my headphones on. I haven't been listening to music for like an hour. I still have my headphones on. Yeah, I'm going to go through this and put some text on it that the character would say and have some fun with that. I think it's just, I really like this character, and it was really making me, I was giggling about it quite a bit last night. But I was thinking about putting these characters on this painting behind me. And my wife said, why? Those men are looking at those ladies? So maybe I'll think of something else. Yeah, but in the meantime, yeah, if anybody can do that with Jim, this is the page we have knocked out today, which has been a lot of fun. And I'll get that posted for tomorrow. Here is our page from earlier. It's pencil crayon and paint with a whole bunch of crazy effects in the background that I'm learning on the Photoshoppy. Here's Sunday's page, big smiles. And this is the dentist page that I was talking about last week with 9 out of 10 dentists could possibly convince to agree with this list. Not Jerry, though. He's a wild card. That's what it says in a very tiny print at the bottom of the page. Somebody told me they couldn't read it on their device. Fight Shot is Saturday's page. I posted Fight Shot and I went played hockey. No fighting, no. And Oopsie Daisy is the page suggested by Dee Dee William. And that's from Friday. So, yeah, that's a lot of fun. Oh, by the way, today's page was suggested by Mr. Frank Salazar. I was going to say Franklin, but I don't know if he's a Franklin. Yeah, maybe he's a Francisco. So yeah, Frank suggested this one. Tomorrow's page we'll be doing is an ancient Sumerian showing off his newfangled bronze ruler and a crowd of ancient Sumerian artists calling him a cheater. We stick to the old chalk and plumb method, pal. Huh? the chalk and plum. All right, so yeah, I'm feeling good with what we got together, folks. This is a lot of fun, and it's been a really rewarding thing to me to not. Yeah, it even looks good in focus. Yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun doing this page. If I would do anything more, I might consider putting a flat tone behind the blue and orange ladies, like something soft, like maybe taking this yellow that is our external border color and just doing a flat yellow behind them and raising that on top of the Dayglow background. I don't know. There's little things that you can play and take further, and it's just a case of just going for it and seeing what sticks. Really, I kind of like that a lot. I got to admit it. I kind of like that a lot, and it's the sort of stuff that I've been doing lately in the Photoshop that is yielding all kinds of surprising things to me. So I don't know. Is it working as comic pages? Maybe you can let me know in the comments, or cut it out, Chris. Just draw in black and white and quit fooling yourself. I don't know. But tomorrow's page, the newfangled bronze ruler, I'm thinking I'm going to draw tomorrow's page in pencil, like a pencil crayon with ink, and maybe a gold pen. It'd probably be better if I had a bronze pen, right? That would make sense. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to that. I'll be back at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you for everybody hanging out. Anybody that's in the area of London, Ontario, Canada tonight, please feel free to come by TAP, Center for Creativity, 6 to 9. There's a cash bar. You can get wine. What we'll be doing the London Comic Jam, which is a whole bunch of us sitting down together and going through what we're doing in our process creatively in comics, as well as engaging in a panel-by-panel comic making process as a group. And we talk and people show off what their individual projects are and things like that as we're doing these jam pages. Been doing it since 2015. I have got a clear 500 or 600 pages from people, myself included, and all the other people that have been at this. We've published 7 volumes of it on my website. But it's a lot of fun. It's crazy. Some of the stuff you get in there is absolutely absurd. But that's part of the fun. That's part of the joy of it. That's why I enjoy doing things like this, where people suggest an idea and I go. Because for me, I may not have had that idea. I may not have considered the possibility of, maybe doing a piece about, I don't know, what have I done? Vampires talking about dentistry. Or I might not have considered doing a page about a dragon rethinking his life choices. Thank you, Frank. So it's fun to be able to engage in those processes. So if you have those opportunities presented to you regionally, wherever you are, please engage in those. But at the same time, if you have some want that we can figure out a way to do this digitally online together, let me know. And I'll explore if that's a possibility for us to do through what different sites there are. I don't know if Zoom would allow us all to draw on the board and to be able to put that, to broadcast that out so that people can engage in that with us real time. And then we can invite people in and out of said room, adding little bits to whatever it is that we're fabricating together as a comic. That could be a lot of fun. Either way, I'll put text to this page. We'll get this posted out for tomorrow. But there's our Molly Shannon, Sally O'Malley page. And yeah, I had a lot of fun drawing this today. And I just wanted to try to explore. Thank you, Jim, for the prodding that maybe I should explore drawing digitally a little more. Could I work only digitally for a year? I like making a mess, so maybe not. But I can definitely see I make sure that the digital process of drawing and making comics is more incorporated in my routine, in my process. There's a part of me that does all these different media just on this sort of turning over basis, just so that I kind of keep all of those axles oiled up. You know what I mean? Like all of those wheels are turning. But yeah, at a certain point, maybe just working on see, I have my whole PC setup that I work on. Maybe if I get a tablet going at some point. Tablets are expensive, and I don't think I could necessarily afford one there. But maybe if I sit down and get a tablet going, that might be the answer for doing some more digital. Okay, well, last thing before we go, I just want to, one more time, I'm going to put the word out. If anybody has Flash CS3, it's written on the bottom of the screen here. And if anybody has Flash CS3, that they can get a copy of that to Jim. You can find Jim on my, if you're not already following Jim on YouTube, he's here. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook, I think, Jim. Yeah. And it would really help him out. And anything we can do to keep creators working, especially in a comfortable structure that has worked for them. Jim has produced a large amount of films using these programs. So if we can keep that train rolling, he's only going to keep producing big things. It's a really uncommon thing that I found, anyways, for independent creators to pre-producing movies. These are films he's doing, as well as little shorts and videos. He's doing films, and they're good. So, okay, that's my last cry for that. And if anybody needs to get a hold of Jim and doesn't feel comfortable with contacting him directly, let me know, and then I'll get that on to Jim. Okay. Other than that, thanks very much, everybody. Come on by tomorrow to 2 o'clock. If you have, here we go. I got to roll up. Just give me a second here. Pop this on the screen. If you have a one-page comic idea that you can put in 1 or 2 sentences, like Kaiju Rock Paper Scissor, that's been one. The Frankenstein monster goes to kindergarten, that's another. A comedian is forced to become the one thing that he hates the most, a clown. That's another one. There's all kinds of crazy ideas that we can find different avenues to explore in, like a dragon rethinking his life choices. So if anybody has any of those that they want to send me, either put it in the comments on this video, or send it to me and put it in the comments on Instagram or Facebook as well, on whatever the current post is, and let's get you involved in there, and I'll put your name up at the top of the screen and give you credit for the idea. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We've already done. I'll switch one more time here. This is the first book that we did. See, Gary, I got your idea wrote down. I'm getting organized. This is me getting organized. So this is the first volume of one-page ideas that I put out last year. That's on ChristopherHuntsman.ca. It's a lot of fun. This is one of my favorites. It switched out to 2 pages. It's when 2 sloths go to war. The idea was that 2 sloths prepare to engage in a sword fight. That was the idea presented to me. So I have 2 pages of sloths smack-talking each other before they pass out. They both got sticks. There will be a sword fight, just not right away. So, it says right here, we will be back after this brief nap with a sword fight. Yeah, this is my learning curve here. This is me doing lettering in Photoshop for the first time. Now my lettering is far more uniform and large enough to be legible. Okay, I'm going to let everybody go. Thanks very much for hanging out. I really appreciate everybody doing that. Thanks for all the engagement. Thanks for all the support from one another. And if you've got an idea, shoot it at me. Otherwise, I'll see you at 2 o'clock tomorrow if you're available. Thanks very much, everybody. Keep creating. Bye for now.